When I was first going through the process of diagnosis, it was really hard to actually officially know that I had SMA. So it was a massive battle for mum and dad. You know, that uncertainty was difficult for them. When I was first diagnosed, I was very, very young. Mum and dad had noticed that some things were going slightly awry with my physical milestones. Around 18 months, I was probably struggling to meet the milestones of my able-bodied peers. You know, just walking at the same pace. They noticed I was starting to stumble a little bit, fall over. And, you know, mum and dad, being the conscientious parents that they were, decided to take me to various GPs, all of whom had never seen SMA before. So they just told mum and dad, oh, they're just being overcautious, don't worry about it, he'll be fine. But over time, I progressively got weaker and weaker and weaker, and it wasn't until I got that official diagnosis at the age of 7 that it really made sense why I was getting weaker and why I was the way that I was. For me, I suppose the benefit was that this is my normal, so I've not known any different. I don't remember walking, and I think that's empowering in a way because I am who I am, and you sort of just get on with it. When I was first diagnosed, we didn't know anyone with SMA, and so we didn't know what my life would look like. So mum, dad, myself did a lot of work trying to find advocacy groups and people that sort of walked that path or rolled that path before me, and we were lucky enough to find SMA Australia, who were sort of instrumental in helping us know what sort of lay ahead. I remember growing up, all my able-bodied mates were playing sport and doing little athletics, carnivals, racetracks and those sorts of meets. I looked at them and wished that I was able to do the same thing, and I got incredibly jealous as a young kid seeing them with their little badges and medals and trophies. And I remember my cousin giving me one of hers because she felt sorry for me and felt that I wasn't able to do the same thing. And now I've given it back because my mum says I've got too many in the trophy cabinet. Parachute football came along. There was a demo held in 2011. Fell in love with the sport and have been playing it ever since. Parachute football is essentially a modified version of football, soccer that we all know and love, but made to ensure that people with disabilities can play level playing fields and enjoy the competitive sport. Josh. I'm lucky enough to be part of the Pararoos team, so the Australian Parachute football team. It's a really physical sport. The recovery for a lot of the guys is often a couple of days, so we're pretty wrecked after. You get tired, fatigued, you know, strategizing all the time, but then, you know, this is exercise for us. People don't know about disability, so it's hard to put things in place if in their everyday life they don't encounter those same challenges. So the big one is physical access, so that's a challenge. And then it's also the way in which people view disability. So they might make assumptions, treat me like I'm not able to have a proper conversation with them. And so it's about educating those people. I'm lucky enough to run school programs where we go and talk to kids about disability, and these kids are going to end up being engineers, doctors, and, you know, in 10, 15 years' time, they're going to be better for having that knowledge in their own lives. No one knows about SMA, and so a lot of the times we're actually the ones educating what my condition means, and that's a challenge and often quite difficult. I think that so often people get the bad news and then just sort of think that that's their lot in life, but you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Fight for what you want, and once you realise you're entitled to that support and help, you know, life gets easier. I've got an amazing team of support workers and carers who, you know, assist me with those day-to-day aspects that I can't do independently. And, you know, they're all my mates as well. They come and help me, and they're paid to help me, but at the end of the day, they're like my best mates, rocking up to my house, and it's amazing to have them as part of my life. I think I'm most proud of the SMA community for not letting SMA define them. It's showcasing to people that we're humans, that we have interests and passions and hobbies like everyone else, and that normalises disability, which means that the next generation with SMA has a much, much easier go in life. It's great that there are so many people that, you know, have the knowledge and expertise and that commitment to the community. It's showing that I'm not the only one in the fight, and that people are helping us normalise disability, and that's incredibly empowering. Yeah, the chilies are fresh. I have So many things I'm excited about coming up in the future. So I've very embarrassingly started taking singing lessons because I want to be in a rock band. I mean, who doesn't want to be in a rock band? I can cook, I can sing, I can play sport. Happy days. It doesn't look too bad on the resume.